Alright, welcome back to the channel. Let's check out what's going on with Bitcoin. So, the day is finally upon us. The Fed meeting is finally done. We are going to microdose the news in just one moment, but as you can see, we've been talking about this for the past week. We predicted that we were going to have chop pattern and downwards movement coming into the Fed meeting, and we predicted that we were going to rally the second it was done. And this is exactly what we've done. You can see in the past 3 hours, the past 2 hours really, the Fed news was announced, and like I said, we're going to jump into that in just one moment. But look at this bullish volume with continuation we had on the 1 hourly time frame. I have to zoom out a very long way until we can find volume that rivals this. I mean, it was all the way back here on the 27th of March that we would last this bullish for Bitcoin. So we're going to jump into the chart in a second. We're going to check out the dollar and a few other things as well, but let's jump right into the news. So you can see here, so the interest rate increases mark the largest upwards move since the year 2000. Now, the Fed is finally trying to put this inflation stuff behind them. They are trying to increase the interest rates and shrink their balance sheet. In theory, it's good for the economy, but it's not good for crypto when they do increase the interest rates. Now, they did increase the interest rates by 50 basis points. Now, if you're not an economist, 50 basis points simply means 0.5%. So 100 basis points would be 1%. They were originally talking about increasing it by 75 basis points, or at least Powell was, up to 1%. I mean, I imagine they're still going to be talking about this in the future. I imagine at some point, the interest rates have to come up. Like, I don't think there's any way that we're going to be able to ease this inflation by 0.5% interest rates. And just so you know, if you're kind of new to the markets, if you're not that in tuned with the interest rates and everything that entails, you might be wondering, how does the interest rate affect Bitcoin whatsoever? Well, I'll jump into it in probably the purely simplest way that I can. Let's zoom out to the Bitcoin chart, then we'll go check out the DXY so I can explain. If we hop over to the dollar, let's say the Federal Reserve increases the interest rate by 1%. Now, previously, let's say the Fed was able to lend out money, and let's say you were able to borrow $1,000 to trade in the crypto and the stock market, and all the Fed asked in return was $1,010 in return once you do give them their money back. Well, increasing the interest rate means that when you have to pay them back for borrowing money, and that is all money is literally debt. Every single bit of money is debt. When you look into it, it's messed up. But yeah, like I said, if you're borrowing money from the government, you're going to have to pay them back some type of interest. So them increasing the interest rate puts investors off investing in risk on assets like the stock market and the crypto market, because they've got more to lose. When money is cheap, when money is free to borrow, which is how it has been the past couple of years, everyone borrows money, and money is cheap, so all of this money flows into the crypto markets and all of these coins, which really shouldn't have valuations, but they do anyway. Because of all this money, because of all this free money, cheap money, the markets were able to have these outstanding rallies. But now they're increasing the interest rate. It simply means that if investors, if people like Michael Saylor, let's take Michael Saylor for example, he's using debt, he's leveraging debt, borrowing money from the government to buy Bitcoin and buy other assets. Now, at this point, it's going to be harder for him to buy Bitcoin because they're increasing the interest rates, meaning they'll demand more money from him back in return. He's got more of a risk. People are less likely to pick up cryptos. However, we are rallying purely, in my opinion, because they thought we were going to be increasing the interest rates a lot. 0.5% is a huge increase, but it's not that much in terms of the grand scheme of things compared to what's been going on in the past couple of years. So let's check out the Bitcoin analysis. Now, let's start off by getting rid of some of the data on this chart. Now, I know, I'm probably the most, I'm probably the YouTuber that has the ugliest crypto charts. Like, you probably look at this and think, you know, why has this guy got so much data on the screen? Because I've got so many fibs, I've got so many trend lines. I know, this is just how I do my thing. This is how I like to keep my charts nice and busy. But depending on how you want to draw this, you can see we were in a descending wedge for quite some period of time. We were falling, or a falling wedge rather, descending wedge, same thing. But we were in this falling wedge, and we have now had a huge breakout. Bear in mind, I want to see a daily close above this region. I want to see a daily close above 39,000. It does seem like we are going to do that. We've got the volume to do it. And on the daily time frame on Bitcoin, we're having that macro market momentum shift to the upside. So very decent things. Now coming over to the 4-hourly time frame, this is very nice. You're flipping the 4-hourly EMA ribbons. Previously when we tried to do this, we pretty much failed every time. You had a fake out here, which is why I'm saying I really want to see a daily close above 39,000. I want to wait another 24 hours or so, let all the dust settle in, and then we can start trading crypto again. If we do still see bullish continuation coming in tomorrow, the markets are still going to be here, cheap prices are still going to be here compared to the last couple of months. That's when I'd be looking to get into the markets on the 4-hourly time frame. Huge influx of bullish momentum. And like I said, look at this 4-hourly candle. Super bullish. So I'm going to revert my chart back to when I had all this ungodly noise on my chart. But I did also want to clear up a few things on this chart before I do jump into the next chart, and then we do check out the dollar and recheck out that double top theory or triple top theory that we were talking about rather. So I've talked about this a while ago. I talked about this when we were down here, and in my opinion I was saying I think we are going to go to the top of the channel and come up to 49,500. A lot of people still might be wondering, is this guy still crazy enough to think that, you know, Bitcoin's going to go up to 49,500? Yes I am. I still think we're going up to 49,500. Nothing has changed in my opinion in that regard. My price target is still up here. I'm waiting patiently. I think it is going to happen. And if we do zoom out, you can kind of see that we just kind of broke down and built a bigger descending channel, because now we've got 3 touch points on the bottom here, and you've got one, I mean, technically didn't really hold that one. You slid through it and you went to this one. So let's just call it 1 touch point. 1, 2, let's just call this 1 as well. 3, this looks like another 4. So you've got pretty much the same amount of touch points on the top as the bottom, but these were some pretty big macro reversals, so I put a lot more weight into them. You can see on each of these bottoms we had huge influxes of volume, apart from the most recent one. So, and as you can see, we are now breaking back above this channel. If we look, zoom in, I imagine the 4-hour would show this a lot better, but we flipped above this trend line and we're back testing it. I'm so bullish on Bitcoin right now. I think this chart looks very great. I've been talking about this for the past couple of weeks. I said, you know, I think we're going to 49,000. When the Fed meeting was pending, I talked about how I think we're going to chop into the Fed meeting and then we're going to rally out of it, and we've done exactly that to the teeth. So now what am I looking for? Like I said, I'm looking for continuation to carry us over into the next couple of days or so. All I want to see is bullish continuation over the next couple of days, the next 24 hours really. Bear in mind, I already have my bags packed on Bitcoin. I'm not looking to accumulate any more. Well, I am. That's a lie. I am looking to accumulate more Bitcoin. I'm always looking to accumulate more Bitcoin, but I'm not looking to trade it at this moment in time. If we do come over to the dollar, let's come over to the hourly, and you can see as soon as this Fed news came out, boom, we just collapsed, we just landslided. This is music, music to my ears, or more like looking at a Picasso painting, because this is beautiful. I love how we've fallen out of these 4-hourly EMAs, but we're not out of the blue yet. We are breaking to the downside. We are having a bearish momentum shift. We did something like this before and it was a fake out. What do I need to see to be convinced that the dollar is going to top out? Well, very simply, you can see we've got these 3 trend lines. Number 1 at the top, it is simply the 1 touch point of the all-time high back here in 2016 on the dollar. You can see we ran up to it and double top so far. We completely broke past this point here. This was your second top in 2020 rather. We blasted past it, broke below it recently, but this most important trend line is coming into play. I'll mark it a little bit thicker in red so you can see it, but connecting the 2 double tops that we've had so far and extrapolating the theory, in my opinion, I think extrapolating this would make very much sense for us to top out within this vicinity. If we do then crash below 102.392, we could have a huge landslide for the dollar. And look at the dollar, we're down 1% as of the time of recording this. Now, that might not seem a lot to crypto traders, but 1% on the dollar is a big move. I don't think we've had a 1% move in a very long period of time. I mean, the last time I can find it was the 5th of November 2020, and that was a period where you saw more bearish continuation to follow. I don't think just looking at a 1% drop and then saying, oh, okay, we did a 1% drop back then, so we're going to do this now. That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm simply pointing out it's not every day you see a 1% drop in the dollar. So very nice stuff. You can see the tech stocks rallying as well. Tesla, Coinbase, it does look like they found their bottoms. Facebook as well, rallying above these daily EMA ribbons. The SPY found its bottom down here, nice push up. Nasdaq found a nice bottom. The SPX broke back above, had a fake out to the downside. So I'm becoming exceptionally bullish on Bitcoin. I'm becoming exceptionally bearish on the dollar. I hope you enjoyed this video. Finally, the Fed meeting is done. We can all move on. We can all start trading again. We can all start getting bullish. Shout out to my Twitter, 618_cowboy. How to shout it out as I was going past, I couldn't not. But yeah, you can also see, wrapping up the video, the Bitcoin shorts are falling off the face of this earth. RIP to all my boys who were shorting. I mean, the shorters got wrecked today. Absolutely wrecked. I can only imagine how many liquidations we had today. So Bitcoin looking very good. Bitcoin dominance just kind of chopping to the side. We are still above the 200-day though, so technically Bitcoin is bullish against altcoins, at least in the short term. We could drop below this, but as of the moment in time, Bitcoin is the most bullish compared to the altcoins, up 5.69% today. I'm going to wrap the video up on that. I really like what we're seeing with Bitcoin. We've broken out of this descending wedge. We are heading to the upside on this broadening megaphone. It looks like in the short term we could be coming up to 46,000. That would line up very nicely with some continuation on my theory that I think we are riding up to 49,000. That is all I've got for you today. Cowboy out, not financial advice, and most importantly, come on, you know what I'm going to say by now. Peace.